Prince Volodymyr the Great baptized Kievan Rus in 988.
66 years later, the Christian world was in a state of official schism. It divided into what is now the Catholic Church and the Eastern Orthodox Church.
In 1240, the Tatar Mongols attacked Kiev and destroyed it in a siege. That is why the city couldn't remain a spiritual center of the Slavic state.
Therefore, Maximus, Metropolitan of all Rus, moved the Metropolitan's residence from Kiev to Vladimir on Klязьма, located on the outskirts of Kievan Rus.
In 1325, Metropolitan Peter moved his residence from Vladimir to Moscow. Despite this, the position was still called the Metropolitan of Kiev and all Rus.
In 1302, Constantinople established the metropolis of Halych, following the request of the Kievan Rus' king, Yuri I. 150 years later, the metropolitanate was contested and became part of the Lithuanian branch of the Kiev metropolis, with its center in the capital of Rus. Over 300 years, the seat of the Kiev metropolis was split between Moscow and Lithuania.
In 1448, Moscow had a conflict with Constantinople, which served and continues to serve as the seat for the Ecumenical Patriarch.
The Bishops' Council in Moscow declared Jonah of Ryazan as the Metropolitan of Kiev without any approval from Constantinople. It caused the isolation of the Moscow Church from the Orthodox world that lasted 140 years.
The Ecumenical Patriarch Jeremiah II made a dramatic impact on the Ukrainian Church. In 1588, he asked Moscow to grant money for his patriarchate.
Boris Godunov agreed on the condition that Constantinople would recognize the self-proclaimed Moscow metropolis as autocephalous, and its head would be called the Metropolitan of Moscow. Jeremiah agreed.
In the 17th century, the Orthodox Church of the Kiev Metropolitan continued to exist in the Cossack Hetmanate of Ukraine, which has been under the jurisdiction of the Constantinople Patriarch until 1685.
But in the same year, its leader, Metropolitan Hedon Svetopolk of Kiev, took initiation in Moscow, not in Constantinople. The hetman of the left bank Ukraine, Ivan Samoilovich, said that it was too far and too dangerous to go to Constantinople through the Tatar steppes. It was easier to go to Moscow, which got the right to ordain the Metropolitan of Kiev. For this, in 1686, Moscow handed over a bribe to Patriarch Dionysius IV of Constantinople.
The events of the 17th century became the basis for granting autocephaly to the Ukrainian Church. The Ecumenical Patriarchate made public the archived documents which prove that it has never transferred the Kiev metropolis to the canonical territory of the Moscow Patriarchate. On the 11th of October 2018, Constantinople revoked the synodal letter from the year 1686 and confirmed that the Kiev Metropolitan is subordinate to the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople. Reported by Olha Mihailuk and Natalia Ivchenko, UATV.